Hello, everyone. This is Joel Tyler Rogers, and this is my vlog for Comm 616. I was really excited to do this vlog here. I ended up choosing public testing from chapter 10. It's a pretty short section, but I think it's got a lot of information that we could all take away and actually apply to our daily lives pretty much right away. So I'm interested to tell you about what I learned. I hope you enjoy this. So, public testing, chapter 10. Here's a couple of quotes from the book, straight out of the book. I'm going to read them and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about like why I put these in here and the significance of these, so that we could get a feel for what public testing actually is. Initially, when I saw the topic public testing, I was like, is this some kind of like actual like study where they purely test the public on something, and do like a case study or something, but it ended up being something quite different. But I was actually still very happy to read it. So the first quote says, "The successful business communicator must know that the key good for company is its direction." So public testing is about kind of the direction of the company. And I'll read the second quote. "And the day of pleasing all is no more, if it ever existed. The test is in the marketplace and begins with who should be hired at a given place." So pretty much what they're saying is, we cannot please everyone with the direction of a company right now, or in today's world. This is just because, I mean, looking specifically at America, it's so diverse. There's so many different cultures, so many different backgrounds, so many different values that you cannot possibly please everyone. If we may have been able to do that in the past, but probably not, honestly. But now there's no shot at all. And so public testing itself, going back to the first quote, is more about the direction a company is going. So say a company, I'm just gonna make something up. Say you sell bicycles, and you're just a bike shop and you sell bicycles. Well, someone comes and works for the company. They could say, "I just sell bikes." But if the company starts going a direction that we are going to sell the most eco-friendly bicycles on the planet, and they make sure like everything's either coming from recycled materials or it's safe for the environment, and they go above and beyond, then the company starts going in a direction that is very eco-friendly. That in return is going to make employees who work there find more self-value or worth, if they align with that direction of the company, to produce eco-friendly bicycles as opposed to just creating bicycles themselves. And then going into the third quote, public testing of direction begins with the demands of the historical situation of a company at any given moment. So this quote right here talks about, you might have a product that you sell that does very well for 1 year, but it's not going to last forever. So successful companies and ones that endure and keep going year to year, decade to decade, they will meet the demands and adapt and like almost like tailor their product towards what the public is looking for. Because say you came out with, I mean, it used a suggestion in the book of an SUV. A company created an SUV before SUVs were super popular, and they ended up going under, simply because they weren't willing to adapt their product in a small way. They pretty much needed to make it have better gas mileage in the scenario in the book, and because they couldn't adapt, then the company failed. So the public testing is all about the direction the company is going. Hopefully that helps clarify some things. Going forward, I have a video that I think demonstrates this. This is not your typical video. I think I mentioned I'm on the triathlon team here. I used to race professionally for a while, so I want to include a video of the sport I actually do because I think it aligns with public testing. So I'm going to click on this link right here. And
Snap your W-2 and
sorry for the ad.
Free. The IRS deadline is April 17th.
Oh my gosh.
Devour the taste of your dreams.
Well, now we have a situation where from here.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Get away. Again, up on the toes. Here we go. This may be the Alistair Brownlee to get away from Richard Murray. I think he's putting some distance in there. Well, he definitely is. He's up on the toes. Look at the effort. This guy knows how to execute on the biggest days. He's the greatest triathlete to ever do it on a one-day basis. No question. He looks over his shoulder. But Richard Murray continues. It's Ryan Bailey is now dropped off. So we're down to 6. Pereira now, the guy who's in the rarefied air. Silverback. It's Johnny Brownlee back in about 6. Here comes Gomez up the outside. Gomez looking him up very quick. But Richard Murray, to me, just looks brilliant. Mola hanging in tough. We are coming around the corner. It is not long now to the blue carpet. Here we come. Alistair Brownlee can see the blue carpet. Mola there. Pereira is in 4th place. Gomez has fallen off the back. There's no question. Gomez will not make the podium today. It's on time to the blue carpet, and here they come. Alistair Brownlee trying to keep away, and Richard Murray finding one more gear. Richard Murray is moving very well. Look at Murray. Here comes Brownlee. We're on to the blue carpet now. It is Richard Murray trying to dig in deep. Mola in 3rd. Pereira coming up the side. And it looks like Brownlee may have made a tactical error trying to get inside, and he's lost it. Murray and Mola onto the blue carpet. Here comes Brownlee. Pereira hanging tough. They're coming to the finishing line. Pereira is going to be on the podium, and it is going to be Mola across the line with the victory. There comes Murray. Pereira in 3rd. Nobody would have picked him, and Brownlee in 4th. Whoa.
All right, so why did I show this video? So I think this video serves as a perfect analogy for public testing. And one way, as mentioned below, is that professional athletes, like say they won a race. So in triathlon, there's a circuit. It's called the WTS. It would be like almost like the NFL or something where they play like each week, except it's spread out a little more. So say they won like a race earlier in the series. Well, this athlete has to come back and do it again. Just because you won earlier doesn't mean you're going to win again. And different people win. It's like if someone wins the Super Bowl, they try again the next year to win the Super Bowl, and they don't often win 2 years in a row. I know that's just a sports analogy, but I think it serves as like a little perfect example. And in this scenario, so the race like serves as the tests. So each race is when they're testing the market for what they do. And the athletes can change their direction. Now, they're not companies, so it's not like a total change in direction. But they could use more energy in the swim at the next race. So triathlon is swimming, biking, and running. We didn't see it all in the video. We just saw the finish of the run. But say like to Richard Murray, the South African who got 2nd, if he wants to win the next race, maybe he could try to swim a little faster and get away in the swim so he has a bigger lead, or use a lot of energy on the bike, which is the second leg, and try to have a big lead into the run and then just hang on, as opposed to trying to win in a sprint finish where obviously it didn't work out on that day as far as getting the win. So I think to bring it into business perspective, companies are constantly testing the market with like products and stuff, but they're often, through this public testing, they're also changing the direction of how they're focusing on getting their product out there. And so I thought that was a pretty cool analogy. I also apologize for that one YouTube ad that was a little inappropriate. I had no idea that was going to pop up. So the journal article I found, it was really hard because public testing, mostly like testing related to like HIV virus, kept popping up in the peer-reviewed articles. So I really struggled to find one that actually like defined public testing. But I did find an interesting article about the values and perceived importance of ethics and social responsibility between the U.S. and China. This article, they were just pretty much comparing business ethics cross-culturally between U.S. managers and Chinese managers who were part-time enrolled in MBA programs. And they had a hypothesis that the U.S. managers would score higher on a Presser scale than the Chinese. However, they did not. And they were a little surprised by this. And it's very detailed. I mean, I left the link. You guys can click. I'll put that up on my WordPress so that you could go check it out. It has a lot of very detailed of just like the percentages of they asked a lot of questions, and then they link it by like what the Chinese said, what the U.S. said, what the total group said, and you could just click and see like by each question. So it's very detailed, very interesting, and I just found this to be linked to it because while it didn't specifically talk about public testing, it through the questions was showing how they do this in China, they do this in America, and how they think ethics do play a big role regardless of culture. They both believe ethics play a big role. Now, the Chinese kind of thought ethics play a big role, I believe, in order to get a profit. But so it's like, then is it really ethics, you know? But it was a very interesting article and truly talked about all that fun stuff. So in conclusion, another thing I think that we need to remember, like for us to kind of tie it all together, is when looking for a job, we must make sure the company's direction aligns with our values. Just because they offer you a lot of money, if they're going in a direction, if you see them tailoring their products or their company in a direction that you're not completely aligned with, you probably shouldn't work for that company just because you got the offer. At least in my opinion, I think we should all work for some, or try to, if we can. I mean, I know circumstances don't always allow it, but try to work for a company that aligns with our values. If you really like, teachers are a great example. And so say you're like a kindergarten teacher, and maybe you love to teach, or maybe you just love helping kids, and if you find a program that truly helps kids, then you might love your job of teaching because you're really getting like opportunities to help kids out of the classroom, do more than just teach them like simple math and stuff like that. And so that's where I think that's what really can make a job go from like a job to something you love to do. And then I have my references, the case study, and the book. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was my vlog. I learned a lot about public testing, and I thought it had some really interesting takes. It's only about, I believe, 3 pages in the book, so it wasn't too long, but I thought it had some very good points. So thank you. This is Joel Tyler Rogers. I hope you enjoyed my vlog.